And I'm Rebecca Hager. We've got a lot to get to today, but we're going to start with your forecast. Our meteorologist Sydney Jackson has your certified most accurate forecast. Kind of expected temperatures again today.
Right.
New this morning, we are waiting to find out the charges for the owner of a car where all of this was allegedly found. Pueblo police say an officer found all this after getting a search warrant for the car in a traffic stop. Officials say he found 3 guns, including a stolen gun, a 30-round magazine for an automatic weapon, and a lot of shotgun ammunition. According to police, there was also suspected heroin, marijuana concentrate, and scales. This is happening today. House managers will finish their opening arguments as they try to sway the Senate to vote to remove President Trump from office. They'll focus on one of the articles of impeachment, obstruction of Congress. Yesterday, the House managers argued the president abused the power of his office to help him in the 2020 election. But some Republicans believe the Democrats are just talking in circles. The president's team begins opening arguments tomorrow.
It's almost 3 minutes past 6. Okay, new this morning, flu season is in full swing, and data shows more than 1,000 people have been hospitalized in Colorado since the end of September.
Yuck. 11 News reporter Jenna Middaugh is live outside Penrose Hospital. Jenna, is it too late at this point to get a flu shot? Developing now, police are trying to figure out if a driver accused in a hit and run knew the victim. 23-year-old Dennis Gonzalez was arrested yesterday in Pueblo. He's been booked on attempted murder charges. Police say he hit a man at 27th Street in Morris in Pueblo Wednesday. The man has life-threatening injuries. Police say he left the scene in a black truck. That truck was also found. Right now, a father is out on bond after allegedly running over and killing his own son. 38-year-old Isaac Bullard was arrested Wednesday in Canyon City. Arrest papers show Bullard did not notice he had run over the 3-year-old. And according to police, he later admitted he had smoked some concentrated marijuana earlier that morning. Documents say he tested positive for impairment. Bullard is facing charges of alleged child abuse and DUI. We have an update this morning. On a story that's making international headlines, 26 people have now died from the coronavirus. Right now, the city of Wuhan is building a new hospital dedicated to treating the patients of the virus. That's the city where this was found first. Authorities say construction will be done very quickly, by February 3rd already. Nearly 850 cases have been confirmed, and one possible case is at Texas A&M. There's also several possible cases in the U.S. Yesterday, the World Health Organization decided for now not to declare the outbreak a global emergency. We are waiting to see if protests will continue in Puerto Rico today. This was what the streets of San Juan looked like yesterday, very busy. Protests came several days after unused Hurricane Maria supplies were found in a warehouse last weekend. Pallets of water and other emergency supplies were never distributed. Protesters have been calling for the resignation of Governor Wanda Vazquez. Thursday's protests included carrying a guillotine to the governor's mansion. New this morning, in an upset, teenager Coco Gauff defeated Naomi Osaka to reach the 4th round of the Australian Open. The 15-year-old American needed just 67 minutes to beat the number 3 seed. Gauff was dominant for large periods of the match. She had already beaten Venus Williams, who she also beat in the first round at Wimbledon. After that, the 15-year-old quickly became a household name.
Good for her.
She's so excited. Yeah. She should be.
Yep.
The Denver Public School District will have to build a single-stall, all-gender bathroom for students now that a resolution has been passed. Both new and old facilities will have to have one of these available to students. The Denver School Board says the easiest way to accomplish this goal is to take faculty restrooms, remove the faculty sign, and install an all-gender sign. They hope this resolution will help with bullying. The union that represents Denver teachers is happy with that resolution. A new study finds women given aspirin during their pregnancies were more likely to deliver full-term babies. The study is published in The Lancet. Low-dose aspirin also helped cut down on the number of stillbirths and newborn deaths. Researchers looked at first-time moms carrying single babies in developing countries like Guatemala and India over a 2-year period. Doctors are optimistic this study could help both the health of moms and babies, especially in populations prone to premature birth. The U.S. Surgeon General wants to help people stop smoking by releasing a report about how beneficial it is to quit smoking at any age. The report is the first since 1990 to focus solely on quitting smoking. It notes that smoking is the leading cause of preventable disease, disability, and death in the U.S. The report also notes there isn't enough evidence to support claims that e-cigarettes can help users stop smoking. The Surgeon General does suggest more research is needed. This weekend, a women's march will cause some streets to be shut down in Colorado Springs. Ahead, where and when this is happening and the road closures to avoid. This morning, a dog who officers say was abused so badly it had to have a leg amputated is going up for adoption this morning. The 6-month-old puppy named Jasmine was taken away from her owners earlier this month. A vet clinic called animal law enforcement saying that her injuries were suspicious. She had multiple fractures in one leg and what appeared to be a muzzle mark on her nose. Now that she's doing better, she's ready to go home with a new family. Anyone who wants to adopt her has to be at the Humane Society at 11 this morning. The owners were charged with cruelty to animals. Some good news for, you could call yourself a self-diagnosed chocoholic, right? Over the next 2 years, 3 new M&M interactive stores will open. Pretty cool. Unfortunately, though, we're not getting one in Colorado. The locations are Orlando, Mall of America in Minneapolis, and in Berlin, Germany. So what you're about to see is a concept design of what they're expecting this to look like. Attendees will be able to see the iconic wall of chocolate and larger-than-life character moments, and they'll also be able to customize their own M&M candies.
Go by with a bag and just drop a bunch of colors in there.
Yes, and I hope that you can customize your bag by picking out like peanut, peanut butter, whatever all the flavors are.
Only the orange ones, because as you know, the orange ones taste best.
If that's what you say. Sydney, what's your favorite?
Pretzel.
There's the view from our camera in Baning Lewis Ranch. Kind of a nice outline of the mountains in the background. You can see some of those flags blowing in the wind. We've got your forecast and traffic every 10 minutes on 11 News this morning.
Welcome back to 11 News this morning. We're glad you're starting your day early with us here on 11 News. I'm Adam Atchison.
And I'm Rebecca Hager. We want to go ahead at 6:29. Get to a look outside. Here's a nice view from our Baning Lewis Ranch camera. You can see the outline of the mountains as that sun starts coming up.
We are in for a nice weekend. We're going to check in with Sydney here in a second, but first an up.
All right, happening today, House managers will finish their opening arguments today as they try to sway the Senate to vote to remove President Trump from office. They'll focus on one of the articles of impeachment, and that's obstruction of Congress. Yesterday, they focused on the other article, abuse of power. House managers argued that President Trump abused the power of his office to help him in the 2020 election. Arguments have been lasting about 8 hours a day, and Republicans say they have not been impressed. The president's team begins opening arguments tomorrow.
New this morning, experts are warning we are in for a very long flu season, and the virus has already hospitalized more than 1,000 people just here in Colorado.
Wow. 11 News reporter Jenna Middaugh is live right now outside Penrose Hospital. Jenna, experts say you can actually get the flu multiple times in a season.
KKTV 11 News.
Yeah, we really all have to do our part to stay healthy this season. Thanks, Jenna. Right now, commissioners are in the planning stages for a multi-million-dollar project that they hope could improve the reputation of a local city. At a Pueblo town hall meeting last night, it was standing room only. Homeowners said they're fed up with the city's crime, drug use, and image problem. The project they are currently planning would be for streetscaping. One commissioner says they're also hoping to address public safety and add more development. Homeowners say because Pueblo has had such a bad reputation, few businesses want to move there. An alleged serial rapist is being held without bond after pleading not guilty. Law enforcement believes Robert Kohler might be responsible for a string of attacks in the 1980s in Florida. He was arrested last week after DNA analysis linked him to a 1983 rape in Palm Bay. Investigators believe he assaulted at least 25 women. According to the Associated Press, investigators are now trying to find all possible victims to get evidence to go to trial. Kohler faces charges of sexual battery with a deadly weapon. Happening tomorrow, the 4th annual Women's March is expected to draw hundreds of demonstrators to downtown Colorado Springs. The event is expected to begin with a speech at 2 at the City Auditorium. That will be followed by a march through downtown. An after party is scheduled for 3:30 at the auditorium. And we know that these some closures that are happening might get in your way.
Let's map this out a little bit and give you a visual. Meteorologist Sydney Jackson is here to do that. Sydney?
Apple hopes to motivate you to work out more often. It is partnering with gyms. This is pretty cool. We'll talk about how this works just ahead. Hundreds of crime victims and their relatives are on a 4-day march to Mexico City. They began the trek yesterday. According to the Washington Post, the group is protesting a wave of killings and disappearances that left more than 35,000 people dead last year. They're traveling 55 miles, hoping to meet with Mexico's president. Activists say his current security strategy is not working. Earlier this month, the Mexican president met with relatives of the victims of a November attack in which 9 Americans were killed in Mexico. Apple is hoping to motivate you to hit the gym more often by linking Apple Watch with gyms and health clubs. The program is called Apple Watch Connected. You can earn perks like gift cards and reduced membership fees by achieving exercise goals. The partner gyms have their own iPhone and Apple Watch apps, and according to Business Insider, right now Apple's working with Crunch Fitness, Orange Theory, Basecamp Fitness, and the YMCA in some major cities before they'll expand nationwide.
A new Ghostbusters is coming out. One of the stars who made the original film a big hit is back.
30 years after last appearing in Ghostbusters 2, Bill Murray is back. He'll be in the upcoming sequel, Ghostbusters Afterlife. A family moves to a small town where they discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and their grandfather's secret legacy. It also stars Paul Rudd and Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard. Ghostbusters Afterlife opens in theaters July 10th.
I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I love some of the other big names in it too. Paul Rudd, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
At 6:48, we are looking outside right now on your Friday morning, and look at that, your beautiful sunrise to start the day. Bright yellow off in the distance. We'll be right back after this break. This is an 11 breaking news alert. An explosion rattled windows and shook walls in parts of Houston early this morning. A building there exploded. Many people reported hearing and feeling the blast from miles away. Police are urging people who live there to stay away from the area because of concerns of toxins in the air. They also say there could be another explosion.
Good. If you're an Amazon Prime member, this might come as good news. You may be able to start using another perk soon.
Prime is offering its grocery delivery service for free to Prime members in cities worldwide. The previous monthly fee was $14.99. This is called Amazon Fresh. We did check this morning. It's actually not available in Colorado Springs yet. It is available in Denver right now, though. A local courier will deliver to your door within 2 hours, and you can even track your driver in real time. You do have to order at least $35 worth of groceries.
Which I would think would be easy for most people or families. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can get out of the grocery store without spending $50. So.
All right, let's take a look at what's coming up next on